A few weeks ago I received another parcel from iFi Studio. I recently reviewed their Zencan Studio. The Zencan Studio is an amazing headphone amplifier and it completely blew me away and changed the way I think about my audio interface's headphone output forever. When I finally opened the parcel, I was in complete shock as to what they sent me. They sent me the Gryphon xDSD Pro Pack. This little thing is what I played with very briefly at the UK drum show last year, and it completely blew me away. And I have had an utter blast with this the past 2 weeks. Seriously, it is one hell of a device. Before we go any further with this review, now is probably a good time just to do my little disclaimer. I am not being paid by iFi to say anything in particular about this product. All of the information you'll find in this video is from my own personal experience with the device and is my complete honest opinion. Once you get inside the box, which by the way, it almost feels like you are unboxing a brand new iPhone. The box is seriously incredible attention to detail. Speaking of which, when you open the box, you are greeted by the Gryphon itself. And speaking of attention to detail, just look at this thing and it is built like an absolute tank, which is something I've kind of come to expect nowadays from iFi Studio and their products, because it is solid. You might get a little bit overwhelmed with all of the ins and outs and the controls, but don't worry, all will be explained. Also inside of the box you will find this gorgeous premium looking and feeling carry case, along with the belt pack for the Gryphon. I mean, this thing feels just premium. See what I mean? They do things so well. Also included are two 4.4mm Pentacon to twin XLR cables. One is male, the other one is female. A USB-A to USB-C cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable, and for you iPhone users, a Lightning to USB-C cable. As I explained earlier, the Gryphon can seem quite intimidating upon first glances. It has a lot of inputs and outputs and different controls for different things, including one just here, which is very special, but I'll explain more about that later. But seriously, don't worry, once you get the hang of it, it's quite self-explanatory. Considering its size, it has a lot of things going on. Let me just explain a few of the inputs and outputs to you. Input wise, it has Bluetooth 5.1, two USB-C ports, one for charging, one for playback, SPDIF 3.5mm coaxial, balanced 4.4mm Pentacon, and a standard 3.5mm input. As for its outputs, it has a balanced 4.4mm Pentacon and an unbalanced 3.5mm headphone output. As I mentioned before, the build quality of this thing feels absolutely amazing. It's so strong, I literally can't get that point across enough. It is built like an absolute tank, but I do love the built-in OLED display. It is just so crisp, clear and easy to read, and makes the whole device a lot easier to navigate. The xDSD Gryphon is already feature packed and it has some amazing quick access controls, just like this one under here. This is the presence adjustment. Push it down, it will boost the presence. Push it all the way to the top, it will boost presence and bass. Now that is seriously a handy feature to have directly where you need it most. While we're on the subject of bass, we cannot forget about this amazing little switch just here. It's right next to the input selector and it is labelled up as X Bass 2. What is X Bass 2? Well, if you are used to listening to music with open-backed headphones and you lose a little bit of bass every time you use them, well, say goodbye to that. Just activate this switch and all will come back to life. Also on the same switch, you can activate a feature called X Space. This is something a little bit more unique, not quite to my taste, but I suppose if you're using it in a live situation and you want a little bit more ambience so you can hear yourself as if you're actually on stage, then it might be for you, but it was just something that sounded a bit weird to me. And now we come to the back of the unit. Now this little switch is pretty cool. It only has three options: off, 4.4mm output or 3.5mm output. This is called the IE match switch. It's pretty cool, let me explain. Its main function is to reduce hiss out of high sensitivity headphones without losing dynamic range. I cannot stress how many times I have tried a very expensive pair of headphones on a device and yeah, it's just been hissing away. This thing, it just magically disappears, and it's one of those things you kind of need to hear to believe, so take my word for it. I have been playing around with this for quite a few weeks now, and I have to say I have been genuinely impressed with its performance. I've tried it with my in-ear monitors, I've tried it with an open back pair of headphones, I've tried it with my Audio Technica M50Xs, and I am still shocked just at how this little thing can drive so much power into your headphones without distorting. Seriously, again, it is something you have to hear to believe. Obviously the Gryphon has a built-in battery. Now it does state it can last up to 8 hours, but I am yet to test that, and I don't think I'll ever be listening to music for any prolonged period more than just a few hours, so the battery life certainly suffices all of my needs. But if you are testing this out for more than 8 hours or trying to get 8 hours out of it, I would be interested to see if it could actually pull it off. So now the important question is, who is this actually for? Because it's more marketed towards musicians, but I think it's actually got a wider use case scenario. So obviously its main use scenario will be within a studio or in a live situation, whether you're tracking your vocals, monitoring your vocals, playing to a click track, you name it. You know, you've got the volume control right on your hip where you need it the most. You can control your own playback basically. But I'm going to just throw this out there. Let's say that you have a rather expensive pair of headphones that you can't use all the time, because let's be honest, most phones haven't got the power out of their headphone output, if they even have headphone outputs nowadays. Most of them are now being run on tiny little adapters. Now you're not going to get the output required to run your expensive pair of headphones while you're on the go, so they're pretty much just sat there and you're using them as and when. Why not just pick this up? I know it's a little bit of something else to carry around, but connect your phone to the 5.1 Bluetooth and just enjoy your music with your expensive headphones while you're on the train. Surely that's worth the price tag. I genuinely cannot recommend this enough to anyone. If you're a musician, an audiophile, you name it, this thing I am sure you can find a use for if you genuinely love your craft or your music. If you have already bought one of these, I would genuinely love to hear your opinion in the comments box just below. If you want to go and pick one of them up for yourself, you can check out the affiliate links which do help support my channel just below in the description. If you want to check out any more of my videos, they will be appearing on screen now. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, and I'll catch you on the next one.